in what has been one of the biggest roller coaster weeks and months in the market, as we surged up to 70K, seemingly looked like we were about to potentially break through to new all-time highs, and then just an absolute mega crash down to 50,000 within literally a matter of 3 to 4 days due to numerous things in this market. I'm going to go over why right now I couldn't be more bullish on the outlook of the economy and the market going forward. Like, I actually think this event, what people are terming to be a semi-black swan with the Japanese economy, with the geopolitical, climate out there, with recession talks in America, the factors at play are now setting up, in my opinion, to lead us into one of the most explosive digital asset bull markets that we have ever seen. So I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go over a handful, really, of coins that I think are fantastic DCAs across different sectors, so you don't want to miss it. Let's jump into it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel down below, let people know where you're getting that crypto gaming alpha. Help us out towards 100K subs. We are pushing hard for that number. I think we're at like 97.5 or something like that. So subscribe down below for more alpha, and leave your thoughts on the market down below as well. A quick shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Universe, Moon Tropica, NordVPN. We have Real Fever, as well as all of our exchange partners down below in the links in the description. But enough with the obligations. Let's jump into the market. Now, what we're seeing at 55.9, obviously, I'm expecting some chop from here. I think locally, that 50K mark is going to mark a local bottom. Is the worst of it over? Yes and no. I don't think we're going to see another, let's just say, let's go to the monthly chart here. I don't think we're going to see another 70 to 50K drop. Like that. I don't think we're going to see something like that. Could we potentially grind sideways or a little bit down over the next couple of months heading into the election season? Sure, we absolutely could. But I think that what's lined up in the economy right now is actually super bullish, because what's going to happen is the government is going to step in. And as Colin says here on Twitter, liquidity injections have begun. BOJ already flipped dovish. The next 1.5 years or so will blow your mind bullish. And I couldn't agree more. What's happening to prevent a recession? Now, the U.S. economy, the government needs to go and potentially slash interest rates, as well as turn on the printer. We know what happened the last time they slashed interest rates and turned on the printer, during the time period we couldn't go outside and leave our houses. So you look back at history, it doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And given all the bullish catalysts paired with this huge economic thing that we just went through with the market, and then the printer being turned on, rates getting cut, I think that this actually sets us up for quite an explosive bull market. Like, obviously, people have asked this so many times, is the bull run over? No, the bull run has hardly even started. This was just a precursor to the bull run, because right now what we've seen is this is just from the ETF flows and really from the institutional adoption of Bitcoin. We haven't even really seen alt season in any sort of form yet. Really, Solana, TON, and a couple others have had really good alt seasons. But if you take a look, like, we are seeing some stuff start to bounce, but not too much. I think right now is a great time to start setting positions in this market. And one thing that Miles tweeted, I think, is very true. And I mention this a lot. And a lot of you guys in the comments will be like, Hustle, we don't want to hear about the blue chip tokens. But at the same time, like, if the blue chip tokens have the most strength, why would you not have them in your portfolio? And also, why would I not have full discretion to just tell you, I think the very safe plays are the blue chips that are performing well. Everything else at the end of the day is speculative, but I think the gaming AI stack and some of these meme coins are going to come through by the end of the cycle. And as Miles said, monitor the coins which recover on the strongest on this bounce. He listed Sol, Celestia, Ondo, Tau, which we really like. So, like, for me, The 4 blue chips that I'd be allocating into: Sol, Ton, Tau, and Caspa. That's where I would be looking personally. And I know we've mentioned that here on the show, but you need to be investing in strength. And the market tells a story whenever you see certain coins bounce over these time periods. Like if you look here, obviously Nairo, the Doge meme coin, is doing very well. But if we kind of go down here on the list, these coins aren't really high strength, but they are bouncing quite well. But I'm looking for blue chip tokens at that high level that have not dipped tremendously, but are holding their price action. And when you look at Solana, obviously Solana went down to like 115 and then has rebounded up to about 150. Let's get into a bit of news first and foremost, and then let's get into the tokens that I am actively potentially adding to or deploying capital into. This is big news. So off the grid, we've talked about it. I think this is the gaming catalyst we are all waiting for in the market. People ask, is crypto gaming dead? Crypto gaming's not going to pump. Ha ha, your narrative is down bad. But really, like year over year, most of the altcoins that we've gotten into are still well in the green. And then on top of that, gaming is thriving with Pirate Nation, Fableborn, My Pet Hooligan's crushing it. We see games coming out like Super Champs, Goat Gaming, Infinigods with over 1 million downloads. Like, it speaks for itself. I think that gaming is simply going through a transitionary period of pure speculation to we're really waiting on those breakthrough apps. And I think that Off the Grid is that breakthrough app. It's actually coming to PS5 this weekend. That is freaking phenomenal because this has only been on PC. I've been able to jump in and play on the PC. It's the best game by far that I've ever touched in Web3 gaming. But this weekend, I'm recording this Wednesday, August 6th or August 7th. This is the best game in Web3, and it's coming to consoles now. You can literally go to Target, buy a PlayStation, and play Off the Grid. Check it out. I think you won't be disappointed. Apply for the Pioneers program, and you won't be let down. But let's jump into the coins that I'm buying, because this is really the news that I wanted to cover, because this is the game I think sets the landscape of Web3 gaming on fire. And I'm really excited to see this come to more consoles, more devices across the web, as well as just their global launch. Pardon me, mainnet, guns, token, etc. But when I'm looking at the market right now, I think there are some clear opportunities for DCAs. And what I am looking at are 4 sectors at this moment in time. I am looking for gaming ecosystems. I am looking at individual games. I'm looking at the TON ecosystem, and I'm looking at meme coins. So let's jump through step by step here as to what I would be deploying into right now, due to the fact that I think Off the Grid is about to come through the door and smash through the boundaries that Web3 gaming has set for itself. And I think that we're going to see an eventual gaming run. I think we're going to see I'm not going to talk about AI tokens too much today, but I think we're going to see an AI run. I think we're going to see some individual games break through, as well as the fact that meme coins are now discounted. And if you have conviction in that, you should be deploying into them actively, because this is the meme coin super cycle. Like it or not, it is what it is. So let's jump into it. And I always get questions, Hustle, why aren't you just more bullish on IMX? IMX is the biggest token in the space. When I talk about buying gaming infrastructure plays, I always mention a handful of tokens, but I usually don't mention IMX. And it's interesting to see, Illuvium just dropped and it's on IMX. And the times to bridge in and out have just been kind of ridiculous. And at the same time, we see people like Grail, who's a heavy investor in the space, says there's not a single game in his portfolio that has anything positive to say about working with IMX. Little taste of what IMX brings on the table to launch. It feels like the people are sending money into a black hole. Now, that's not my words, that's someone else. So it kind of reiterates why whenever I talk about gaming infra, I'm stacking up Beam, because Beam works. It's backed off Avalanche's technology. Beam literally works. And there's 25 games building there, 50 games on the Sphere marketplace. I'm looking at Ronin because Ronin has the most users across the entire chain. Like, gaming doesn't matter. Ronin's user base is one of the absolute highest in all of crypto. That speaks for itself. And then the speculative maybe a little riskier, but I think still safe play is Super. Super has collaborated with Super Champs, Off the Grid, Shrapnel, My Pet Hooligan, Wilder World, Metalcore. The list goes on. And if this turns into a blockchain, which the speculation is that it will, who knows how many games would potentially latch on, try to run with Elio's chain, with the super chain, etc. So to me, my infrastructure plays are things that simply have bright outlooks or that work. Like the product has spoke for itself. So for me, I'm going with Beam, Ronin, and Super. And look, I know a lot of the comments too will be like, well, we know these tokens. This is not the market for new tokens. Like, I always understand that you would love a new 100x gaming gem, but that's not the market that we're in right now. You need to be allocating into your highest conviction bets, and that's what we're doing here. So for gaming ecosystems today, I would be heavily deploying into Beam and Ronin, as well as putting DCAs into Super below 50 cents. Let's move on to individual games. Number 1 is Prime. Prime, we initially got in here at $2.77. This ran up to $27. Now we're sitting at $5.50. Like this right here is a blessing from the gods, a dip from the gods, if you would say. And you look at the emissions potential here. If you are staking your Prime, which by the way, over 50% of the circulating supply is staked here. And over 60% of the circulating supply of Ronin is staked. So 2 very bullish metrics there. At current prices, a 10x over the next 3 years is reasonable for max lockers. It is likely to go higher when accounting for Prime price appreciation and potential for multi-billion-dollar prompt valuation. So, let's just say if you lock for 21 days, given the amount of supply that's kind of like in the cash right now, the prompt emissions would be 86 grand up to about 367 million based off if this hits certain valuations or price appreciation on a 3-year staking period. So all speculation, but you could see why the Prime ecosystem is thriving with their staking, with the parallel trading card game, with the AI game coming up, which is not being talked about enough. I think Prime is a home run at these prices, first and foremost. Like, if it's crazy because like I would only be deploying into certain gaming coins at this time in the market, and then a lot of meme coins, but that's just where we're at in the cycle. But I think for now, as I've talked about, Beam, Ronin, Super, Prime, and then Wilder World. I saw a great tweet from Jesus Martinez this morning saying that Sandbox sold $2 million worth of sand tokens today. That seems like a little bit of like, they're the core backer of Sandbox, but Animoca selling 2 mil of Sandbox shows you they're probably moving on from like a priority perspective. And I think that Wilder World, I have some alpha, potentially big campaign coming up where you can jump in, start earning lots of wild. Open world game, first person shooter. I think Wilder World is about to take the metaverse narrative and run with it. Like absolutely no competition. And at $64 million market cap, and look at this dip it's taken. We got all the way up to $1.14. Now we're at 24 cents with I think 3 to 4 very bullish catalysts coming up. And this actually just yesterday launched on Epic Games. So the Wilder World Alpha is now available on Epic Games. We developed, tested, and raced for this moment. It's time to begin your Wilder World journey. So I think the path for them to be the biggest open world / metaverse game in the space is absolutely wide open. And I would be taking advantage of this dip at about 60 million. Third, the narrative that's next is TON. So TON, like, look at this tweet here. Very bullish on what 𝗨𝗧𝗏 has done. 𝗨𝗏𝗏 saw an opportunity, ran with it. The token is down pretty bad, but I think whenever it springboards, it's going to be a great opportunity. While everyone is trying to make their own minigame, we will launch the best game store for all Web3 and Web2 titles on TON with amazing rewards. That is their TON Station games. We've talked about TON Station quite a bit. It's like the Steam of TON gaming, but look at this tweet. We are aware of over 200 studios in Asia pivoting to mini games on 𝗏. We don't hear about it much where I am in the US, but I'm glued to the Telegram narrative right now, and I think there's lots of great opportunities here. Number one, first and foremost, look, guys, there is no coin in this market that is too high of a market cap for you to allocate into. Maybe if Solana was Ethereum's market cap, I wouldn't put capital into it. But like, even at 70 billion, the upside for Sol is clear, and the upside for 𝗏 is clear. The network potential, and it's at 13 billion. Really, that's not even that big of a market cap when we're factoring in the Pico bull, when altcoin prices are going to be absolutely insane. And the ones with the biggest use and the most users are going to absolutely parachute in value. To me, that's Solana and 𝗏. So I would be heavily allocating into 𝗏 under $6 is just an absolute steal. And then 𝗏coin. If we take a look at some of these numbers, 𝗏coin, or actually, this one was the one that I wanted to talk about next. Here we go. 𝗏coin is incubating lost dogs. Now, this game is not great. The Telegram games are blowing up right now, and 𝗏 has gotten them up to 2.5 million players in just a single day. This is absolutely ridiculous numbers. Like, there's 100K 𝗏coin up for grabs. There's, 150% gains in 𝗏. 𝗏coin is doing a great job of bringing these experience to the market. They're not incubating tokens. They are incubating games with tangible reward structures. And I could not be more bullish on 𝗏 and 𝗏. And then just looking through the space, I think there's a lot of opportunities that you could go jump into and potentially farm. Number one is 𝗪𝗡. 𝗪𝗡 is an upcoming gaming, back-end, infrastructure type of play. Their mini game on 𝗏 just hit 2 million users in a single week. It's called freaking Banana Game. This is where we're at. 𝗏 games are like the memes of gaming right now, but they're absolutely ripping. And if you can get in front of the biggest and best ecosystems in 𝗏, I think you can really win here. And then if you've been carving these badges, jump in with 𝗪𝗡. Like, I'm an early investor here. I think that 𝗪𝗡 is going to absolutely crush it. Largest modular data layer for gaming and AI. But you can go in and earn these badges, and speculatively speaking, I think these could lead into a potential airdrop. So definitely jump in. There's a lot of ways to get involved with 𝗏. We have GOAT Gaming. Their focus and heavy leaning into the 𝗏 narrative. Simon said he thinks it's the biggest opportunity since Facebook gaming. It's like the TikTok shop world right now. If you're paying attention to business, TikTok shop, people are terming as the next Amazon. Well, I think, just like Simon thinks, I think 𝗏 gaming is potentially the next Facebook gaming. A simple application that could onboard millions and millions of users into the gaming side, and that could gateway them into the crypto Web3 side of things. And then an AI project even that I'm super bullish on, in Kip Protocol, they partnered up with Cat Gold Miner. This is an NFT gaming and DeFi platform. Oh, guess what? It is built on 𝗏. 7 million active users and 500,000 daily active users. They recently won the GameFi Open League Hackathon hosted by the 𝗏 blockchain themselves. Like, the 𝗏 narrative is speaking for itself. And to be quite frank, I think there's two ways you could think about it. It's just like meme coins. The opportunity is right in front of you. And I think that it is going to absolutely surge in popularity. I think most games are going to start building 𝗏 experiences for simple onboarding mechanisms. But you could either fade it because you think they're crappy or they're stupid, or you can jump into it. And I think the opportunity is ripe. And right now with the 𝗏 dip and the 𝗏 dip, I think that there's so much opportunity in the 𝗏 ecosystem. And then just speaking on Kip, because I am very bullish on Kip Protocol, they're working with Open Campus. They're really tied with Memecoins here. And the team here is making a big bet into supporting 23,000 universities and a student population of over 254 million. $10 million now carved for the AI initiative. Kip is absolutely one of my favorite upcoming AI projects. And if you see here, this partnership, the AI in gaming, they're leveraging the world's decentralized retrieval augmented generation, a critical infrastructure for decentralized AI. Way over my head, but it helps with the connectivity of monetization with the DAI ecosystem and focusing on real world adoption of DAI. So with this collaboration, set to onboard millions of users, driving significant growth and innovation in the space, powered by KIP. And I think that if you're not following KIP, you're not jumping in. They have nodes, they have everything coming, as well as the token. The KIP token is launching here very soon. I think it's an upcoming AI play that should definitely be on your radar. But to recap, I think 𝗏 and 𝗏, the easiest play, because 𝗏 is the layer that they're using for the Telegram games, and then 𝗏𝗏coin is the one that's bringing these games to market to millions of users. So I couldn't be more bullish on the 𝗏 narrative. If we're talking about AI, I would keep it simple, stupid, as the saying is. Tau, render, GPU, neural AI, PAL. That's where I would be putting my money at this point in time. And I'm going to keep that thesis pretty simple on the AI side. And then last but not least is memes. And I just said it with 𝗏. You can play it one of two ways. You can think it's stupid. You can think they're just dogs and character coins that people are just aping into and are going to lose all their money eventually. Or you could be the one that takes profit whenever the time comes and runs away like a bandit and tells your friends you invested in a coin called Brett, who's Pepe's brother, and you made a bunch of money. Which one do you want to do? Because I think the second story is much better than fading it. So for me right now, under $1 billion, Brett was just at, let me take a look here. We're looking at 800 million market cap for Brett, when Brett just recently was at a $1.8 billion market cap. This thing is ripe for upside. And with voices like Crash just absolutely pushing this, the total meme market cap on base is 1.2 billion. Brett was 950 million of that. If you want to bet on the base ecosystem to grow, you buy Brett. This is just absolutely obvious in my opinion. And then I'd be looking at Mog. Look, Mog is just a perfect meme. Like, oh, you didn't invest in meme coins. Haha, get mogged. I think this, it's just absolutely easy play, and it's a beta play to the ETH meme narrative of Pepe, SHIB, Doge. I think if those end up running this cycle, we're going to see Mog in the multi-billion-dollar market cap ranges. And then as well as some upcoming stuff, we have XBorg, who, you know, backed by Swissborg so heavily. Like, XBorg has everything needed to just be an absolute Swiss Army knife, no pun intended, with Swissborg in the gaming space. And I freaking love this ad that they did, or this like trailer. They say, F the sexes, F the VCs, we're launching our token. Like, and they have the backing to do this. And I love it. Like, go against the grain, launch when the market is rough. And here's what I think this provides an opportunity for. XBorg has everything they need to be a success in this market. And then if you launch at a time where projects are scared to launch, then the market ends up running. Your token holders that bought in after market are going to be so happy. So it's a fair launch, 100% community raised token unlocks, and they are launching on the 19th of August. I'm bullish, and I love the messaging. I love the freaking, like, really just the going against the agenda. Projects wait for bullish conditions, but what they underestimate is that might be the all-time high of their project if they launch at the top of the market. Whereas you launch in these time periods and the XBG retail buyers are going to have a lot of upside. So I'm super bullish on this launch strategy. And then last but not least, we are launching Nexus Labs, the software that I use on this show. We are equipped with a full-blown portfolio tracker. If you can take a look here, EVM, Solana, TON wallets, Aptos. We have my meme snipers. We have my Bitcoin wallets, everything underneath one roof. You can check out the entire crypto market. You can check out the entire NFT market as well. Floor prices, different collections, trending, volume, and an internal launch pad. We've already done about $3.5 million on the launch pad. And we've incubated some of the top projects in the space. So this is going live here in a few short weeks. I'm excited for you guys to get your hands on it. We've been working on this for quite a while. and it's where I present all the info for you on these shows right here on the Nexus app. So you can check it out at nexuslabs.gg. And then a quick shout to our newest sponsor, Unioverse. If you guys remember, about a year and a half ago, I had Unioverse, Wyeth from Unioverse, right here on the show. I've been a longtime supporter of what they're doing. They just sold out their collection, their free mint yesterday, in literally a matter of minutes, like within a minute, the opening of their sale on Magic Eden, they sold out their 5,000 NFT collection here. And if you haven't seen the gameplay from Unioverse, like, these guys are industry veterans. They have built some of the best games in Web 2. They see the potential in digital asset ownership. I think that their economy has a lot of sustainability to it. And if I have to say so myself, like, the game is just super fun. Like, you can see the gameplay here on screen. I think that they have a really good shot of also being one of those games that turns the tide in Web 3. And you'll be hearing a lot more about Unioverse this month and throughout our collaboration as well. Like, we had them on the show over a year ago. Like, I'm just a big fan of what they're building organically, and I think that's the beauty of it. So guys, like the video, subscribe down below, and check out all of our sponsors in the descriptions as well. Help us out towards 100K. And also, let me know what you're DCAing down below, because I'm curious. What are you guys bullish on? What narratives? What tokens are you scooping? Are you being a degen and buying $1 million market cap coins, or are you sticking with the top quality? I'm really curious what your strategy is. So let me know down below, and I'll see y'all on the next one. As always, play well, my friends.